So, good morning, everyone. How are all of you? Am I audible? Hi, audible? Sound is coming? Please pin your reply. Audio okay? Video okay? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Clear. Okay. So, one student asking what is the fee of long-term debt? I will ask the management people to send the fee. Actually, we don't have exact idea about the fee. So, who are looking on that, I will ask them to put in your group, long-term group, okay? Online group. Right. Voice not clear. Voice not clear, is it alright or clear? Another student pin. Not clear? Now it is okay? Now okay? Voice is not clear. Now okay. Now clear. Okay. It's all right. So one student asking, say approx space. I will ask today, na, they will WhatsApp the detail of the fee on your group. So why you are asking me to guess the fee? So it is better they will give you the idea. I will ask the people, they will send on the group. So I think it is always a better idea. Na? You got a perfect answer. Okay, G. So let's start now. So last class, I hope you understand. Clear? Now see, what I am planning, I am thinking like why not to start the track sheet from today onward. So at little pressure will come. Na? Otherwise, in long-term batches, a lot of pressure is there. So at least we will get the advantage of how many days? 1 day. So let's start the track sheet. And of course, it is an easy area. Okay, Ji? So let's start. So we are starting with a factual chapter, that is morphology of flowering plant. If we talk about the statistics of this particular chapter, so usually we find it is not, if we talk about overall average statistic of this particular chapter, so 2 to 3 question asked in NEET from here. How many questions? 2 to 3 questions. Now, this chapter, if we talk about, it is a factual chapter. Factual chapter means your role is more, my role is little less. Only one way of making perfection in this chapter is repeated revision. Revise again and again. Until and unless all example, all terminology not came in your reflex action. Got the idea? Always I use a word coming in reflex action means the things must be like 2 to the 4. That easily you able to remember the which one? Example. Not like when we are asking anything, kisi parietal placentation present, where you start thinking it is where it is present, where it is present. then there is a chance you will do the mistake. So the perfection level must be in the example is 2 to the 4. So simply these are the chapter framed to check your patience. Factual information is there. Getting the idea? And NCERT is going to ask. See, what is the psychology of the students here? Whenever a student preparing for the same exam second time or third time, they are thinking about, I already studied first time, so read somehow more in second time. More means more information, and read some more information in third time. It is not a good idea. It is not at all good idea. You better know who is going to ask. NCERT is going to ask. Be not got the seat due to certain reason, na? But every time 12th appearing a student writing the exam, it is exam for them. We not got, but we got the opportunity. It doesn't means we have to read all these information who don't have any need. Be very professional in that part. Getting the things. So here I am not going to teach you anything new, or don't expect it. Because these new thing not going to ask in NEET. So what is written in NCERT, that is only going to ask. Either actively, passively, by making assertion, reason, by making a statement, they try to confuse you. And you trust me. You trust me. Morphology is a very easy chapter. Na? Everything NCERT going to ask. In paper, we will frame the question from NCERT only. And I want to say in the next Sunday, how many 180 is coming? Here, one chapter, even not full chapter. I want to see na, ki how much 180 is coming. So you work for 180. Paper definitely we will frame from the NCERT only. Got the idea? So make a race of cat and rat. You just, what is our approach? Okay, I want to see how you are scoring 180. Even I am making question from NCERT line. Your approach must be what? Ki sir, what you will ask, I also want to see. If you are going to ask from NCERT, how can I do the mistake? How can I do this particular mistake if it is from the NCERT? Your attitude must be this. And every week there is a cat and rat race. Every week give yourself a target and try to finish this target. And target in every subject is how much? 180. Not like, easy, here I am compromising. So keep the target of, if any other student carrying with 720, why not you? So keep a target of 720. Getting the thing? If any mistake occur due to XYZ reason, at least 700 come. Not like, gee, I am long term, how it is possible, sir? Don't think like this. If you are not hoping, if you are thinking for me 650 is good, then it will sink up to 600, 640, 630. Getting the idea? So anyhow, let's start the particular topic. I am just going to start about the morphology, and definitely from NCERT or in periphery of NCERT, not much here and there. Now in competitive examination, it is very clear they are asking NCERT in different way only. So have a look. So morphology. So in morphology, we study about external structure. No one will ask you this question in exam, ki what we study in morphology. We study about external structure. Of an organism. This is called morphology. Understanding the idea? Clear in the mind? So if we talk about morphology of flowering plant, in flowering plant, or another name of flowering plant is what? Angiospermic plant. So you keep in your mind, it is very important to know, in this planet, only angiospermic plants are such plant who have flower. Got the idea? So other name of the flowering plant is angiospermic plant, or other name of angiospermic plant is flowering plant. Other than angiosperm, no any plant have a flower. Getting the idea? Clarity came in the mind or not? So whenever we are talking about a flowering plant, means we are talking about an angiospermic plant. So in flowering plant or angiospermic plant, when I ask a question from you, when you observe an angiospermic plant, how many components you are finding from your naked eye, from externally? How many components are finding in a flowering plant? So we are finding which one? In an angiospermic plant, so I am writing about angiospermic plant, we are finding two type of components are there. Whenever we are observing a plant, we are finding two type of component is there. Part of plant who is underground. When we find about a plant, the part of plant who is underground is called what basically? Root system. It is called what basically? Root system. And the part of plant above the root, above the soil, this is called which system? Shoot system. So if you talk about any angiospermic plant, these two components are there. In any plant, root system is there, and which one? Shoot system is there. An example, I am just drawing a diagram here, rough sketch I am drawing here. Suppose that here I am drawing a plant. I just drawn a rough sketch of a plant, flowering plant. This is the soil surface, this is the surface, this is the ground. So part of the plant who are below the ground, these part are called which system? Root system. And the part of plant who are above the soil level, above the ground level, it is called which system? Shoot system. So usually in every angiospermic plant, we are getting that kind of things. Two type of system are there. One is above the ground, another is under the ground. Above the ground is shoot system. Under the ground is which one? Root system. Excuse me. Right. So root system, if we talk about, what are the component of the root system? In root system, if we talk about, it consists of primary root, it consists of lateral root, It consists of root hair. It consists of which one? Root cap. So these all are a component of which one? Root system. Root, primary root, lateral root, root hairs, and which one? Root cap. These all are the component of which one? Root system. If we talk about shoot system, what are the component of shoot system? A stem, branches, leaves, flower, and fruit. These are components of which system? Shoot system. I hope everyone know it from 7th, 6th class onward. I not think told anything new. But we are starting a chapter. It doesn't means we not talk that topic for about that you know. We have to take care of every small and big thing. So everything start with a very small thing. So we have to take care about the every small and big thing when we are teaching. So it's not like if an easy thing is going to ask, we are not able to deal. Understand the idea? So I hope you understand about the root system and the shoot system, the system who are under the ground and the system who are above the ground. Component of the root system is what? Primary root, lateral root, root hairs, and root cap. And what are the component of the shoot system? Stem, branches, leaves, flowers, and fruit. Got the idea? Can we move ahead? I think everybody know it. Nothing I told new you don't know. Can we move ahead? Can we proceed further? Right? This basic is over now. Yes. Now we are going to talk about root system. Right. So if we talk about root system, I am going to write here 3 type of root system. Actually, it is 2 type, but NCERT wrote it 3 type. So I am just respecting the NCERT and writing 3 type according to which one? NCERT itself. Getting the idea? So how many type of root system are there? 3 type of root system is there. One is tap root system. Another one is fibrous root system. And the next one is adventitious root system. So these are the 3 type of root system we observe in the different plant. This taproot system is also called, taproot is also called true root. So you keep this line in mind. Taproot is also called which root? True root. And what are the characteristic of the taproot? It arises from the radicle of the seed. So what is the characteristic feature of a taproot? Are you able to understand? It arises from which part? It arises from which part? Radicle. Able to understand or not? Now I am telling you what is radicle. You will ask, sir, you wrote radicle of the seed, just somehow decode it. So I am decoding the radicle. Got the idea? Have a look here. But I will not decode here. I will decode in a separate page. So look here. Suppose that it is a dicot embryo. It is a dicot embryo. You can say dicot seed. I am making seed itself, don't worry. It is a dicot seed now. Is it all right? So this is what basically, I am changing the color. So you will differentiate better. The yellow color structure is what basically? Embryo. And this embryo is surrounded by which one? Testa. And which one? Tegma. These together call which one? Seed coat. So embryo plus seed coat equal to which one? Seed. So this is a dicot seed. Understanding the idea? This is a dicot seed. Now in dicot seed, I am just specifying the embryo part for your better understanding. So this is what, which component of the seed? Embryo component of the seed. So these two flattened leaf-like structure is called cotyledon. This part where cotyledon attach is called cotyledonary node. Now these are the embryo part of, and these line, I am just making another color to differentiate this line. This straight line you are finding, na? This line. It is called embryonal axis. It is called embryonal axis. So cotyledon join at embryonal axis at which part? Cotyledonary node. Cotyledon joined at embryonal axis at cotyledonary node. This particular part of embryonal axis above the cotyledon is called epicotyle. And the part of embryonal axis below the level of cotyledon, it is called hypocotyle. And this tip of the hypocotyle is called radicle. It is called radicle. And tip of epicotyle is called plumule. So plumule gives rise of which system? Shoot system. And radicle gives rise of which one? Root system. So root system which arise from radicle is called which root? Taproot. So this is the radicle. This is the tip of the hypocotyle. And when the root arises from radicle, that particular root is called taproot system. You got this picture or not? You got this idea or not? Clarity came? So I just decoded a dicot embryo. I told you the different component of the dicot embryo. I told you about where is the radicle. And when radicle give rise the root, it is called which root? Taproot. Picture clear? Is it all right in the mind? Understand about the taproot? Should I change the slide now? It is done, it is over. Yeah. Now we are moving ahead. Now I am coming on the previous slide. So in taproot system, I told it is also called true root. Why it is called true root? Because it arises from radicle. Radicle of cell, not radicle of embryo. Arise from radicle of the embryo. Because radicle is present in which one? Embryo. Getting the idea or not? Say arise from radicle. Now what are the example of taproot is there? So characteristic taproot present in dicot plant. In dicot plant, which kind of root is present? Taproot is present. And one of the example of dicot plant is what? Mustard. Mustard is a dicot or monocot? Tell me, mustard is a dicot or monocot? It is a dicot plant. Getting the idea or not? So this is about the taproot. I hope it is okay. Now we are going to talk about fibrous root. About fibrous root I am writing a line. What happened basically in fibrous root? Example of fibrous root is monocot. Example of fibrous root is what basically? Monocot. So what we find in the fibrous root condition? In monocots plant, primary root is short life and it is replaced by many fibrous root which arise from base of a stem. Which arise from which one? Base of the stem. Now I am going to tell you about the difference between taproot and fibrous root based on a diagram. So you just have a look here. If you talk about a taproot, in any taproot, there is a prominent primary root is there. Who is there? A primary root is there, which is the most prominent. Primary root is there in the taproot. If taproot is present, this primary root must be present. And from primary root, so many secondary root are arising. So the outgrowth from the lateral outgrowth from the primary root is called which one? Secondary root. And it may possible from secondary root who is arising? Tertiary root. This is also a root. It is of various degree, tertiary root. And here in the last you are finding who is there? A thimble-like structure. It is root cap is there. And you will find so many root hairs are there. Here like this. It is what basically? Root hairs. So these are a typical structure of a which one? Taproot. So when you are unrooting a plant and you are finding such kind of roots are there, you will find, you will say very easily, you can say very easily, sir, it is a taproot and the plant is a dicot plant. Because in monocot plant, such type of root is not there. So whenever you are unrooting a plant and you want to differentiate between monocot and dicot, you can say with this, if this type of a structure is there, one prominent root who are the longest and who are the thickest, and from that root, so many lateral root of various degree are arising. Getting the thing, such particular type of root is called taproot and it is a characteristic feature of dicot plant. In any dicot plant, you will find such kind of root. Is it clear in the mind? Now I am going to tell you about the which one? Fibrous root system, how this fibrous root system appear. Should I move? So have a look. About fibrous root, what I told you. Who is short life? Primary root is short life. And many, so this is a stem. This is the base of a stem. This is node. This is node. This is internode. So what we are finding? Many root. No one is prominent here. All are equally thick. Such kind of root. Many root like this arise from the which one? Base. Many roots are arise from which part? Base of the stem. So these are the base of a stem, and these are which one? Fibrous root. Fibrous root. So when we are unrooting a plant and we are getting such kind of root arising from the base of the stem, such type of root is the characteristic feature of which one? Monocot. It is a characteristic feature of which one? Monocot. So in monocot, which kind of root is there? Fibrous root is there, because primary root is short life and it replaced by many fibrous root which arise from the base of a stem. Such kind of root we are finding in which one? Monocot. Can you tell any example? And try to say the example from NCERT itself. Can you say any example of the fibrous root? Pin your answer. You will remain involved. So in example, in wheat, in grasses, which kind of root we are finding? Fibrous root are finding. Very good, well done. So at least you remain connected now when you are pinning it. Got the idea? Can we move ahead? So tap root and fibrous root is over. This is the fibrous root. If root look like this, many root arise from the base of a stem. It is fibrous root. Now, if root look like this, it is called tap root. Now I am coming on which root? Third type of root, that is which one? Adventitious root. We are going to talk about which root? Adventitious root. Give your attention. So when a root arise from any other part of plant other than radical, it is called adventitious root. Means root not arise from radical, they arise from any other part other than radical. It may be a stem, it may be leaf. Getting the things or not? Not from the radical, other than radical. Such particular type of root is called which one? Adventitious root system. Which type of root system? Adventitious root system. Understanding the idea? Clear in the mind? So if we talk about adventitious root, what are the example of adventitious root? It is present in both monocot and dicot. So example of adventitious root is grasses, monstera, and banyan. These are the some of the example. Here grasses and monstera is a monocot and banyan is a dicot. Now if I ask a question, which kind of adventitious root present in grasses and monstera? Will you answer? Which kind of adventitious root is present in grasses and monstera? Many students writing the correct answer. Well done, very good. So in grasses and monstera, which kind of root are present? Fibrous root is present. And you can say, sir, you write fibrous root in another category. Got the idea? I told according to NCERT, I am differentiating. Actually, fibrous root is also a kind of which root? Adventitious root. One of the student wrote already. When root arise from radical, which root? Tap root. Other than radical, fibrous, adventitious root. Other than radical, adventitious root. Fibrous root arise from where? Radical or other than radical? Fibrous root arise from radical or other than radical? Radical or other than radical? Other than radical, arise from base of the stem. So can I say fibrous root is also a type of fibrous root is also a type of adventitious root? Can I say or not say? One student wrote it clearly. Very good. Well done. Is it clear? So which kind of adventitious root present in grasses and monstera? You got the idea? Fibrous root. See, it is important to keep the example of NCERT in mind, and that is the reason I am dealing with the example of NCERT. Otherwise, world is full with example, but it is not your cup of tea. Kiji, how many example we are mugging? It is not that race. It is a race. What example is written in NCERT? In examination, are you able to reflect or recall or not? Examiner not ask question other than NCERT, example other than NCERT. So they are asking only the example of NCERT. And when you are dealing that much only, your life become too much easy. Otherwise, hundreds of example of who is there? Fibrous root is there. Hundred of example of adventitious root are there. Hundred of example of tap root is there. Getting the idea? But in tap root, what they will ask? Mustard they will ask. Understanding the idea? In adventitious root, what they will ask in exam? They will ask about what? Grasses, monstera, and what they will ask another things. Tell me. Banyan. Now I am asking a question. In banyan, which kind of adventitious root is present? Try to answer it. In banyan, which kind of adventitious root is present? I am asking a question. In banyan, first option, only tap root present. Second option, only adventitious root present. Third, both tap root and adventitious root is present. Fourth, none of these. Answer the question. So you are answering both. Very good. Well done. Both tap root and adventitious root is present. Now I am asking, in banyan which type of adventitious root is present? So some of the student writing tap. In banyan which type of adventitious root is present? Now the answer came, that is a correct answer. In banyan, which kind of adventitious root is present? Prop root. I will tell you about the prop root when I will talk about mechanical support modification. Understanding the idea? Clarity came in the mind or not? So which kind of adventitious root is present? So suppose that it is a banyan tree. I am just giving you a basic idea. It is a trunk. It is a banyan tree. It is the branches. Got the idea? And here under the soil, here which root is there? Tap root. And from here so much root is arising. It is which root? Prop root. So here tap root is also there, and here adventitious root is also there. So both the type of root is there. The first form root is the tap root. Besides of that, to provide additional support, who is there? Prop root is arising, and which is a which kind of root? Adventitious root. Why it is a adventitious root? Because it arises from branches. Why it is a tap root? Because it arises from radical. Understanding came or not came in the mind? Picture came in the mind? Is it all right? Done? So these are the three types of root we have seen. These are the three type of root we have seen. Now we are going to talk about function of root. Type of root we have seen. Then we are going to talk about function of root. After that we will talk about the part of root. So function of root. So the very first function is absorption of water and mineral. And second function is anchoring the plant in soil. It helps to hold the plant in the soil, anchor the plant in the soil. Got the idea? Third thing, a storage of food. And fourth thing, release PGRs, plant growth regulator. These are the four functions given in which one? NCERT. And NCERT wrote like what? Main function of the root is. Main function of it is absorption of water and mineral, anchoring the plant in storage of food, and release of plant growth regulator. These are the main function of the. Out of these main function, what is the primary function? Primary function is absorption and anchoring. Primary function is what? Absorption and anchoring. Every root do not store food in it. Agree with me or not? But every root is doing two jobs. What? Absorption of water and mineral and anchoring the plant in the soil. Every root not storing the food. Getting the things or not? So storing the food become a peculiar function. Na? Understanding the idea or not? Some of the root also store the food. Understanding the idea? Clear in the mind? Is it all right? So these are about the which one? Function of the root. After the function of the root, now we are going to talk about part of root. Part of root. Parts of root. Now have a look. Here it is a thimble-like structure, root cap. Thimble, you know, a shield-like structure when you are wearing in your finger to protect your finger when you are dealing with some sharp object. That cover of your finger is called what? Thimble. So thimble is a cover of the tip of the root. It is called which part? Tip. Tip of root. And here it is called, this part is called base of root. This is called tip of the root. So tip of the root, base of the root. You got that idea? So in the tip of the root, terminal region, who is there? There is a thimble-like structure. Who is there? Root cap is there. Few millimeter above the root cap, you just try to understand from here to here. It is zone of meristem is there, or meristematic zone is there. Meristematic zone is present. Or it is also called zone of cell division. Zone of cell division. Just proximal to the meristematic zone. Proximal to meristematic zone. Zone of elongation is present. It is present. Here a student confused. It is present proximal to meristem, meristematic zone, or distal to meristematic zone. So it is proximal to meristematic zone. In MCQ, people will confuse you. The zone of elongation is proximal to meristematic zone or distal to meristematic zone. So it is proximal to meristematic zone. Proximal or distal term we are using in reference to which one? Base of root. I am asking a question to you. Root cap is proximal to meristematic zone or distal to meristematic zone? Answer it. Root cap is proximal to meristematic zone or distal to meristematic zone? Root cap is distal to meristematic zone. Because from base, who is more near? Meristematic zone is more near. And from base, who is far? Root cap is far. So reference is base. So base, in compared to base, meristematic zone is more nearer. And root cap is more far. So we are using for root cap, it is distal. And we are using for zone of elongation proximal. Understanding the idea? Any confusion is coming, or you are getting the clarity here? In proximal distal, student confuse a lot, and that is the reason I am saying it. Proximal distal. When we make the MCQ, people do the mistake when we ask such kind of question. Ki proximal or distal? Just give me a minute. Now, here zone of maturation is there. Now I am asking a question. Zone of maturation is proximal to zone of elongation or distal to zone of elongation? Answer it. Zone of maturation is proximal to zone of elongation or distal to zone of elongation? Proximal to zone of elongation. Very good. So it is proximal to zone of elongation. Right. Now what you will find, in this zone, zone of maturation, who is present? Lateral roots are present. Who is present? These are lateral roots. Or in this zone, one more thing is present. Is root hairs. So examiner asks a question from you. Root hairs are present in which zone of the root? What the answer will you give? Root hair is present in which zone? Maturation zone. Lateral roots are present in which zone? Lateral roots are present in which zone? Maturation zone. Right. Now I am telling about the character of every thing. So root cap. What is the function of root cap? What is the function of root cap? It protects the delicate tip of the root. It protects the delicate tip of the root. Because you know, root moving positive geotropic, underground, under the soil. So suppose that this is tip of the root and it is drilling in the soil. Soil is hard, na? Soil is hard or not when it is drilling? So when this hard soil drilled by this delicate tip, who may break? Tip may break, na? Understanding the idea or not? So protecting the tip of the root from getting damaged when drilling under the soil. Understanding the idea, is it clear in the mind? It is protecting the which one? Tip of the root. Understanding the idea from getting damage. Delicate tip of the root. How they are protecting? How? Another question arises, na? Sir, you are telling it is going to protect the tip of the root. Now I am asking, how it protect the tip of the root? Answer the question. It is factual area. We are just trying to somehow what? Making it science. Otherwise, no more scope for us, na? So one thing is what? It releases mucilaginous fluid which lubricate the soil. So when soil get lubricated, When soil get lubricated, penetration become easy or difficult? Chances of damage is less or more? Tell me. It become easy, na? Chances of damage is less. Clear or not? And second, it is a barrier also. Barrier also, suppose that my finger is there and I am wearing a metal cap here. Then I can easily collect the glass also with this metal cap, because it is a barrier. So any sharp object cannot directly puncture my finger. Understanding the idea? Is it clear in the mind? Is it all right? So in two ways it is protecting. It is a barrier, it is a layer. So directly who not get hit by the mechanical force or injury? Root tip. And second thing is what? It is releasing a mucilaginous chemical which is lubricating the soil, and when soil get lubricated, penetration become more and more and more easier. Understanding the idea? Is it clear in the mind? Is it all right? It is done. So this is about the root cap. Now few millimeter above the root cap, meristematic zone is present. Meristematic zone is present in terminal region or subterminal region. NCERT not wrote much precise word. NCERT wrote terminal word for which one? Meristematic zone also. If root cap is terminal, who is the subterminal? Better word to use is what? For meristematic zone, terminal or subterminal? But many places in book you will find meristematic zone is present in tip. It is subterminal, exactly not on the tip. On the tip, who is present? Cap is present. And just few millimeter before, means few millimeter proximal to the root cap, who is there? Meristematic zone is present. Understanding the idea? Picture came or not came? So when subterminal in option, you choose which one? Subterminal for which one? Meristematic zone. Don't choose terminal. And when subterminal is not in option, what is option in your hand? You have to choose only which one? Terminal. Is it clear? Now we are moving ahead. So now we are coming on which one? Meristematic zone. So I am writing the character of the meristematic zone. Character of the meristematic zone. So what are the characters present in the cell who are present in the meristematic zone? First, cell is small. Dense protoplasm. Large nucleus. Cell have capacity of division. Cell wall thin and elastic. Only primary cell wall present. Vacuole absent. Cells are undifferentiated. So this is the characteristic feature present in the cells who are present in which zone? meristematic zone. Clear? And many of these answer you can write with your common sense. Cells are continuously dividing. So size of the cell remain small or bigger. When cell go in zone of elongation, it become large, na? So in meristematic zone, cell size remain which one? Small. And any dividing cell have a which character? Meristematic cell or dividing cell. So any dividing cell have dense protoplasm because they are in very active state of division. Large nucleus is present because cell are doing a lot of metabolic activity. Because in process of division, na, cell have capacity of divide. Because meristematic cells are there. Cell wall thin and elastic. If cell wall become thick, how it will grow in elongation zone? Size will not grow, na? So thin and elastic cell wall is which cell wall? Only primary cell wall. So only which cell wall is present? Primary cell wall is present. And in dividing cell, vacuole are absent. Vacuole is forming when cell is growing in size. Vacuolization occur in zone of elongation. Understanding the idea? Clear in the mind? And later on what happen? Cells are undifferentiated. Undifferentiated means cells do not have a spatial structure and a spatial function. We cannot say cells is performing a spatial structure, and we cannot say, suppose that it is a zone of meristem and I am making many cell here. I cannot say any spatial structure is present in any particular cell or any function performed by any particular cell. So you got the idea about the zone of meristematic or zone of cell division. Picture came in mind or not? Can we move on the another zone? Can we move on the another zone? Here it is done. Clear, clarity came. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. You can interpret it. Nothing difficult is there. Right. Now we are moving ahead. Sound is coming clearly. Actually, yesterday what's happened? I was teaching in offline batches. In last 5 minutes, some problem came in mic. So I just try to become Singham. Without mic, I try to speak in 5 minutes. Right. So you got the idea? Now we are going to talk about which zone? Cell or zone of elongation. What are the characters should I write here? Character. Cell grow in size. Cell grow in size. Vacuole formation occur. Vacuole formation occur. And third, thickening of cell wall increase. Thickening of cell wall increase. These are the event occur in which zone? Elongation zone. Understand the idea? Clear in the mind? Elongation zone. Now the last we are going to talk about zone of maturation. Now have a look about the zone of maturation. What happened in zone of maturation? Differentiation occur. Differentiation means a structural and functional specialization occur. Right? Cells lose the capacity of divide. So at cellular level, I told the character. Cells lose the capacity of division. And in this zone, I already told, in zone of maturation, who is present? Lateral root and root here are present. Now, can I ask a question? Lateral root arise from? Can I ask a question? Lateral root arise from? Who will answer it? Lateral root arise from? Connect with me and answer it. Lateral root arise from? Primary root. Okay, it's also, I am asking a question. Lateral root arise from? First option, zone of maturation. Second option, primary root. Third option, pericycle. Fourth option, I am writing it different way. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arise endogenous part. Options. First, 1 and 2. Second option, first, second and 3. Third option, first, second and 4. Fourth option, all are correct. 1, 2, 3 and 4. What the answer you will give? So here the correct answer is all of these. Lateral root arise from zone of maturation. It is also a correct answer. Lateral root arise from primary root. It is also